In its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, guess what? This is the Ramble, and I'm Alex Bennett. Down there in FLA, Florida.
Yes.
The greatest state in the union.
Yeah. When we say down under, we mean Key West. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was often described when I was on the air in Florida, in Miami, because I so hated the state. I said, I've looked at a map, and we all know this state looks like a giant penis.
Yes, and not as much as the Amazon logo.
I-95 runs through it, and it's like this giant vein going down the penis. And then I don't know what those little things are out in the water, but they look like sperm.
Yep. So it's a very apt metaphor.
Yeah. So it looks like a ejaculate coming out from the giant penis.
Yeah. Now the Keys is a whole different animal. Key West. I lived there for a year, and it was everything that Florida, the rest of Florida, isn't.
Okay.
Blue, and I don't know if the voting stats would back me up, but liberal attitudes just abound there.
Yeah. Well, I used to go down to the Keys, hopping from giant sperm glob to the next giant sperm glob.
Boink, boink, splash.
Boink. Ooh, yeah. I would go down there and drive down through them, and I don't think I ever got to Key West, though. I don't think I got that far.
Yeah, it's quite cool. I mean, I've got to say, but don't go there if you're trying to stay sober. It is a challenge every day because
really?
People drink everywhere, not just on the streets, but probably in classrooms. I don't know, but
isn't that was the home of Ernest Hemingway?
Yes, with all the cats,
and the cats are still there, right?
Well, I don't know. I didn't do the touristy things.
I mean, not the same cats, but the relatives
the lineage.
of the cats. Yeah.
But my mom came down to visit, and we had a blast. And she did all that touristy stuff. Mm-hmm. So and she said the cats were still there.
Yeah. Well, the relatives of the cats, not
descendants,
not the same cats.
No, that would be gross.
Yeah, but he had tons of cats.
Yeah, well, that's what you have. You have two cats. You'll soon have tons of cats.
Well, but then you have to give them away.
Oh yeah,
that's the other problem.
Well, I heard that they used to drown them in a burlap sack. Put as many as they could in a burlap sack.
If you love cats, you're not going to do that.
I wouldn't do that, and I was like, who would do that?
I mean, I had one cat, Shabbos.
Yeah.
Cool, very cool cat. Got him in Houston. Then I got a second cat to join him. We called Yunta. She was a female. And then we moved to various places. We wound up in New York. And all of a sudden, we've got 5 cats.
How? Oh,
well, because every time one of the cats had a litter, Yunta had a litter, we give them all away, the kitties. But there's always one cute one we wanted to keep.
Always, yeah. And that's how you have a menagerie.
That's how I got the menagerie. Yeah.
I just had one cat, and I paid like $600 for it. And that was 25 years ago, 30 years ago. And it had papers and everything, which I, of course, was clueless about. It was a silver Persian, and she was darling. I had her from almost birth. Yeah, just a cutie.
Yeah, but here's the deal. I'm very bad at remembering names, right? You know that.
Yeah,
on this program, you've had to supply a name when I didn't have it, right?
Oh, it's a game I play with people.
So I had 5 cats, right?
Yeah.
I can name them all. Shabbos Yontif, Charlie. Wait a minute, what was that one's name? There was Charlie.
Yeah. Charlie was the Goyim.
Charlie, and then there was... what was the other one? He didn't spend much time emotionally with us.
Well, cats can be so aloof.
But then the littlest one I called Mouse.
Because
she looked like a little mouse when she was first running around the house. I said, "You're the smallest kitty of them all, therefore I will name you Mouse." But I spelled it Mause.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mouse.
Yeah, kind of like Ika Mouse spelled his. I don't know how.
Well,
but
anyway, this was after Chairman Mouse. Anyway.
Oh, duh. I just took a pain.
Oh, you just got it.
I just got it.
What's that other one's name? There was Charlie. I love Charlie. Was the smartest cat I ever had.
How so?
Oh, this cat, I'd be watching TV, and he'd come over to the bed, hop up on the bed, get on the pillow next to me, and then put his arm around my neck like we were sitting there as pals watching TV together.
That's sweet. That's very sweet.
But he was very smart. But Charlie, the other one I named another very human name, and I'm trying to remember what I named him. Wow, that's terrible. I thought I had it all. And then
we could have a contest, and people could supply the missing name.
Yeah, maybe some people out there remember the missing name of the other cat that we can, But and Mouse was adorable, and she wound up going blind in later years.
What is that? How does that happen in cats?
They don't. They just lose their eyesight.
Wow.
Well, anyway, we moved into a new apartment in California in Sausalito. And it was a 2-level with stairs and everything. We go in, all the cats are sniffing around, looking, trying to figure out things. And she's running up the stairs and running down the stairs, and she's blind.
Wow. That is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, some cats, I would like to be like a guy for one day, so I could see how a boner feels.
I know we went through that last time, that you really want to know what a boner is like. Okay.
Right.
But you shouldn't have to ask. You've seen them.
I've seen them. I've experienced them. But I would like to, from the other side, Ben, I would like to experience them.
Yeah, but it feels pretty good, Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, and I'd like to be a cat for one day. Dogs, not so much. They're easy to figure out. But I would like to be many things for a day. I think it'd be the first step in world harmony.
I wouldn't mind being a cat for a couple of days. Yeah.
If we could figure.
Especially a cat owned by me, because I love cats.
Yeah. Well, and that makes all the difference, I think, in how the cats.
I don't want to be one of the ones they drown. Okay.
No, in the burlap sack. Not only is it overcrowded, that's just the meanest thing. I think that was something they did in Kentucky a long time ago. Where my grandparents were from Kentucky, and they had horror stories about just the normal day-to-day activities.
Yeah.
Including bootlegging.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people that would mysteriously disappear because when they come up on somebody's still,
oh boy. Yeah.
They wouldn't know if they were safe or not.
I don't want to be, but I wouldn't mind being a cat. You know what I've decided? We as human beings have a really high-minded attitude about us.
Oh,
we are the smartest, brightest, most perfect thing on the planet. All right?
Yeah.
And yet, cats have more abilities than we do.
I know. Wouldn't it be great to be a synergy of all the strengths of all the critters and creatures, including
the critters and creatures actually have more abilities than we do. Okay, you don't believe me, folks? Try flying.
Yeah.
Try flying. I mean, without a plane. Try flying. Yeah. Flap your arms a lot. See what happens. And then all the senses that cats have.
I know.
Automatic.
And a dog sense of smell.
And also, there's one other thing. This always gets women very pissed when I bring it up, but I gotta bring it up.
What is it?
Human beings are the only species on the planet that do not have a natural maternal instinct.
Really?
Yes.
Is it because of the baby is out of us, and it can require a walk on two?
Let me put it this way. If you had a baby and let's say you got pregnant, you were out in the wilderness and you had a baby, okay?
Yeah.
What? Oh, nice bird. Once the baby comes out, when I'm talking about natural maternal instinct, does that human being know exactly what to do with that baby?
Well, I think it's because we're so distanced from the birth experience. That's why we don't lick the baby. It's in the hospital. They clean it off for us.
Yeah.
And so, I mean.
Oh, I'm not saying that we didn't at one time back in the days when we were in caves and things like that. We had a natural maternal instinct. But all of that has been bred out of us.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think perhaps because they just, I'm pretty much in agreement with that. Because some people, some women, I think it's smart, I would count myself among them, to just know you're not the maternal type. I don't know that I'm not the maternal type. I will be a great grandmother if the occasion ever comes up. Yeah. But with humans, I just think it would be so hard because that person's responsible. You're responsible for everything about their development. You can't take it back a word. You can't take back a breath. And if I'd say something in anger to the child, I would feel horrible for days. And so it would be bad.
But that's not part of natural maternal instinct. Natural maternal instinct is how to immediately feed that animal.
Okay.
But you're deprived of any information about that. I mean, most mothers do start breastfeeding because they read that's what they're supposed to do. But if you had not supplied that information, would you realize that was the thing to do?
Well, I think that it would alarm you when your breasts were hurting and huge and painful.
Yeah.
And if the baby was near them, they'd do the grabbing for you. So if you were just holding the baby,
I guess they would go. It's a natural thing for the cub or the human being baby to go for the nipple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's built for that.
Yeah. In your case, latex comes out, right?
Pretty much.
That's my question. If women have a breast implant, let's say, they can still lactate, can't they? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could nurse a baby.
Yeah.
If I wasn't 65.
Well, then just simply that's pressed up into your breast and fills it out.
Well, I had a redo, and it was a guy in Mississippi that did it, a doctor in Mississippi. Wrong. Because the ones that did my original ones, I loved from stem to stern. They were perfect. But he did it above the muscle. This guy did it below the muscle. And it throws everything.
What's preferable, above the muscle or
I
below the
preferred
muscle?
Above the muscle, way more.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what his logic was. I think it's just that Mississippi is kind of backward in some areas.
Yeah.
And so, but you can't, for instance, when you're leaning over and it's below the muscle, you can see the outline of the implant very clearly. It doesn't look like a breast. It looks like an implant with surreal indentation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So you don't want to lean over.
So what did you do? You got one put it in the wrong place. What did you do? Go back and get it redone?
No, they will become pelletized. Like they'll feel like you have a bunch of small, like Dippin' Dots, boob full of Dippin' Dots. Yeah. And that doesn't feel natural at all. And after a while, it's easy to become self-conscious. So I wanted them redone for that reason only. They still like the way they looked, and they felt fine, but it just was that.
But when you got it done, you say where in the second time?
Jackson, Mississippi, the second time.
Yeah, the breast implant capital of America, as we all know.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. But I should have gone to at least Birmingham. But the redo, we had to take the old ones out. So I was, for 2 months, I was left to remember exactly how flat I was and why I had the boob job in the first place. And you're around people and you've had these bazonkas, and then all of a sudden you don't. I was just like, what the hell am I going to do? And so there's lingerie, there are brasiers that will give the impression. It wasn't a dramatic impression, but it carried off the charade.
You remember my 6-foot-tall girlfriend,
blonde?
Kathleen?
I totally do. I liked her. She was a cop, wasn't she?
No, she was she worked for UPS, but she was a UPS cop.
Yeah, she was neat.
Yeah. But anyway, she had implants.
I didn't know that.
Well, she had huge breasts, if you may have remembered.
I did.
Yeah, but they were implants. And I said, why'd you get them that big? Why do you have them that big? And she had implants because she had breast cancer.
Oh.
Okay. So
Yeah.
in one breast.
Yeah. Oh.
So they said, well, we're going to have to do an implant in your breast. What size would you like? And she said, fill them up. He said, well, how about the other breast? It's okay, but then you won't be even. She says, we'll even them out.
Yeah.
So she wound up having these huge breasts.
Were they fun to play with? Did you enjoy that aspect?
No, because they don't move. They don't, they don't have.
Oh, mine moved.
Yours move? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they were very cooperative.
Hers didn't move that much.
Well, see, but I did research, no kidding, for a year at least, more like 2, and asked every woman I knew that I suspected had a breast job if they knew of anybody, if they knew of a good implant doctor. Mm-hmm. And there was one name, and this is in the Bay Area after asking about 100 women, whose name kept coming up. He was affiliated with Stanford, Appleberg. He's retired now. Yeah. But that's what you want to do. You want to ask every woman you know, and if there's a name that keeps popping up.
Yeah, and if they like the job they got, who was the doctor?
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's the best way.
Yeah, because what you had essentially, you didn't have because you needed it. There wasn't a medical reason why you needed it. In her case, there was.
Yeah.
And she just figured, I have medium-sized breasts or something like that. Why not go all the way?
Yeah.
And so you have these 2 huge hooters.
Yeah. But see, mine, I just wanted, I told the doctor, I want a perfect set of 34 Cs to take to the beach. That's what I wanted. Yeah. And they were just really, really small. And I just had always wanted that pair of 34 Cs. And so I got them, and I was delighted with every aspect.
They look good. I remember when you first came back with them.
Yeah.
And they look fine. They look really, really nice. Yeah.
But the thing that O.J. Simpson said about his wife, she'd had hers done. She had hers done at some point in their marriage. Yeah. And he said when the titty doctor enters the picture, all holds are off, because you do get a little, I think I can take these out now and maybe show them to some people. And it's all your doubts that you ever had while you were, having sex, and all that you can wash away, you think, by getting some more admiring and more admiration going in your next sexual encounter.
Yeah.
And there's a temptation to kind of, show them around.
Yeah. Boy, the birds are going crazy in your...
They are. They're really... I wonder if they can predict things like hurricanes. We had a heck of a storm last night. Yeah. Just a big... And the power can go off easily. But, yeah, they were... Is it too loud? You want me to shoot them? No, I'm kidding.
Hold on a second. Let me try. Shut up!
Yeah. See, because you have that voice of authority. He said... Yeah, you think they know how to behave. I need to get a bird wrangler. Yeah. That's what
Marjorie, yesterday we were walking down the street, or as I like to call it, I'm crawling down the street. And I got my little cane, and I'm walking, and I'm doing okay. And all of a sudden, she looks in this garbage can on the corner. Mm-hmm. She says, I think there's a dead bird in there. And come look. And I said, I don't want to look. I don't want to see a dead bird. And she's saying, no, but he's chirping like crazy. And I'm saying, he's not chirping from that garbage can. He's chirping from somewhere else. And I look up, and there's this tiny little bird with the loudest chirp you've ever heard.
Yeah, I can't figure it out either. And we even had some, I think they were wrens or something, the Florida equivalent of a wren, that built a nest above our front door. Mm-hmm. And I saw the babies. There were like 5 babies. And after she would feed them, they would put their noses in the air, and you could see the little beaks lined up. It was cool.
Yeah, because they do the vomiting into their
yeah.
babies. Oh boy.
protector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I mean, yeah, it's good. So did you go back and get a third breast job
No,
because
no,
the
no.
second one
Just the second one. The second one I can live with.
you
Yeah.
can live with, but you would rather if he had done it a different way.
Oh yeah. In fact, I thought about making a deal of it. But it.
Somebody should come up with a new thing where in your breast you've got a zipper.
Yeah.
And then you can just take these things, and because they're like falsies. I mean, if you think about it.
Yeah, they're
know,
installed falsies.
Installed falsies, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, they're. And like I say, I knew it was Mississippi, and I didn't ask around. I mean, I asked like 10 people, but I can live with these.
Yeah.
I'm married now.
Yeah, but it's fine. They look great. I mean, I didn't notice that they were any different than the other ones, but
They just feel a little different because I used to love the other ones. You got to massage them in the shower, and it's like fun with Hooters.
Yeah, fun with Hooters. Yeah. So anyway, well, that's good. So how are you feeling? How's your health?
It's just they need to tell you about the after cancer stuff, especially the radiation on the throat is what's causing some complications more than the chemo that I noticed. But the radiation essentially just burns and then burns away the cancer, I guess, because it causes ongoing throat irritation. Because it basically it can shave some room and some area off your throat, off the inside of your throat, so there's less room there, and the chance of feeling constricted are stronger. I feel that quite a bit, and pills get stuck, and you don't want to get a throat ulcer, so you're stuck between drinking like a gallon of water to go down, and then or just hacking it up.
The swallowing's been a little difficult for me lately. Not terrible, but I have to drink more liquid.
Oh, I drink all kinds of liquids. I mean, it's my raison d'etre.
But I don't think I have throat cancer because my voice doesn't sound like it's changed, does it?
No, Ben. And you would know. I had a tumor.
Yeah. Did your voice have a tendency to change because of it?
Well, see, that was the first thing I asked. I said, can you operate and just take the tumor out? And they said, well, with it being that close to your voice box, we'd rather not take that chance. And I said, I'd rather you not take that chance either.
Well, so they never removed it?
No, they never removed the tumor.
How did they manage to do a biopsy? Just they biopsied?
They scrape on it, I guess. I have an ENT now who I adore. He's just the sweetest. And I go to him in a month, and he will just make sure everything is on target.
Yeah. But so the tumor went away because of the radiation?
It did. I was
good.
checking.
Good.
So that went away, and so that's. I think I'm out of the woods, but knock on real wood.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to curse it. So yeah,
you're out of the knock on woods.
Yeah. The cough is what's horrible, and that gets me in a bad mood, wakes you up out of sleep. But bitch, the worst part's over.
Well, you're coughing, but the good part is you're alive.
Yeah, I can cough.
And you don't feel. You feel pretty much like you used to feel, right? I mean,
most days.
Yeah,
but when I strain my voice, when my fatigue the voice, the rest of the body follows immediate suit.
Well, people maybe don't understand that, but people like you and I who worked radio, our voice is our identity.
Oh yeah, man! When I heard that was my immediate thought. It's going to change my personality, if I don't get my voice.
Well, you always had kind of a whiskey, baritone voice. Okay.
Right. People often call me sir on telemarketing calls.
Yeah, but that's why you sounded great on radio.
It worked. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked.
Well,
this doesn't change that really.
No.
Yeah.
And and when I first got into radio, it was a little higher. It was like mine
was too.
Voice.
Mine was too.
Yeah, and they tell you'll sound more authoritative if you lower your register.
Well, I was taught how to lower my voice and also to talk from my diaphragm.
Right, same here.
Not from my throat. A lot of people talk from their throat.
Exactly.
And I talk. If you come up to me, folks, while I'm talking, and you feel my chest, you'll feel it vibrating.
Yeah. And I took. I actually took voice lessons when I was like 12, but it was for singing, and it didn't work.
Oh, it didn't work. Oh, okay.
Still can't sing.
Hey, we're running out of time, dear.
Oh goodness gracious!
Gracias. Goodness gracias.
Yes. Well, we can just do this again next week if you like.
Yeah, I would love to. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and attractive Lori Thompson. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Well, thank you very much, Lori. Great having you here, and she'll be here again next week, okay? Anyway, we're here, and we're ready. Oh, let me turn on the lights here. There we go. See, I didn't got to do things right. I'm the first day of the week, I'm usually out of it. I'm completely verblungent. Anyway, hello, everybody. How are you? I love talking to Lori, as you know, and I could just do nothing but talk to her and be happy, okay? Anyway, we only have one person waiting, somebody that we care about, of course, but there are some people who are trying to come in that I don't trust, okay? Let me just try this. See if it's anybody that we want. Let me turn the audio down and admit this person and see what they are actually. It's going to be interesting because you see, there we go. Hello, are you there? Who is this? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Oh, there, it's Vernon Nunn.
Yeah, I'm on my wife's computer.
Oh, it said Ann, and I didn't trust it. Okay. All right. I'm sorry I didn't trust your lovely and adorable wife.
Let me fix that.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. I'm okay. I'll remember Ann from here on in. Let's admit also these two people, Charlie Wallace and Alan is here as well. Yeah, turn yourself around there, Charlie. There we go. There's Charlie. He's at girlfriend's place tonight. I can always tell. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Let's just bring these people in like that, and there we go. You know, but no, I didn't know who Ann was.
That's why you dropped me, huh?
Yeah, that's why I dropped you. And then I finally decided, give it a try. What the hell? And I see you, and I go, wait a minute, that's not Ann. You know. But I was waiting to see some guy masturbating or something, you know. So
sorry, I couldn't put on a show.
Oh, we're very happy you couldn't. Okay. Hello there to Charlie. How are you, Charlie?
I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, at the girlfriend.
But other than that,
at the girlfriend's house tonight.
Yeah.
And I notice there's a pillow next to you. Is that the other pillow?
Well, no comment.
And boy, he is so no comment about this.
Oh, and the other pillow's moving.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. One day
She's laughing. That's why it's moving.
Yeah, right.
maybe
even touching it.
How does she feel about this fact that she's lying in the bed next to you, but you're talking to us?
She doesn't have a problem with it. She lets me have my own friends.
Oh, okay. Well, no, she should.
Yeah.
You know. Here comes Jeff.
Interesting on psychoanalyzing.
Oh, Jeff, got to turn down your audio, Jeff.
Yeah, I agree.
Kill the browser.
Yeah. Kill the browser. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to read lips tonight.
Okay. Anyway. No, he's fine. He's you know, he's.
Well, he's also muted.
No, is he muted? Oh yeah, he is muted.
Yeah.
Did that because of the volume. I wasn't.
You got it.
Yeah. But
Now it's okay.
Yes.
Now he got it okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
and I'm on.
terrific.
You can hear me.
He's learning how to use that thing.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So how's everything in Kentucky there, Vernon?
Well, I was watching the TV tonight on MSNBC. I don't turn on the TV that often, but the International Trade Court just struck down all of Trump's tariffs. They said that they are illegal, unconstitutional, and therefore the border people can no longer collect those taxes when the stuff comes in this country.
I didn't see that anywhere, and usually this stuff comes over my watch and whatever. But
It's a federal trade court.
here it is, tariff overreach. A panel of federal judges blocked President Trump from imposing some tariffs, finding that they vastly overstepped his authority under federal law. Well, that's a different story altogether, right? This is an international court you're talking about?
Oh, it's a federal court.
Oh, federal court. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an international trade court, U.S. International Trade Court.
Well, no, this was a federal court they were talking about.
Right, but it's a U.S. Federal International Trade Court.
Oh, okay. Do you think he's going to pay any attention? Do you think he's
They
gonna...
basically said that.
Yeah.
They basically said that tariffs are the bailiwick of Congress, and they can't even give it to the president. That it's unconstitutional for the Congress
That's what I thought.
allow the president these powers.
Do you think that's going to stop him?
He can't collect the tax.
Well, he may try to collect it.
Well, he may, but this was a lawsuit brought by 7 states, I think, most of them that have Democratic governors, and there was a summary judgment. In other words, all 3 of the judges said unilaterally he doesn't have this power.
Well, I didn't think he did, but then again, he thinks he does. You know, he thinks he has the right to do anything he goddamn pleases, that a president can do anything they want to do. And
did you hear the new nickname for Trump?
No.
Taco.
Oh, taco, yeah. I'm trying to remember what it stands for.
Trump always chickens out.
Yeah, that's it. And he says, "No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm tough. I'm tough on yeah, right."
All these European countries are coming to negotiate because of that tariff that he put on them. Yeah, right.
No, they want to talk to him because they'd like to tell him, "Hey, don't do it," you know. But it's not. They want to negotiate with him. Why do they have to negotiate with him? To begin with, the European Union has already said there's no reason to negotiate with them. They'll just take our business elsewhere. The United States will not get any of our goods. So, I mean, you want that, folks? I don't think so. Just wait. All you people who voted for Trump, you're going to have buyer's remorse very soon, if you haven't already.
Should have already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I'm here. I did. I've been doing okay. You missed me the last show. You went around the room. How's everybody doing? And you missed me this show. So I just wanted to.
No, I didn't miss you. I went to Charlie. I went to Vernon.
Yeah.
I went to Jeff, and I was going to come to you.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
But now that you mention it, why should I?
Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't either. Yeah.
What is SWAT fuel?
Yeah.
What is
a friend of mine was on a SWAT team here in California, and him and his buddies got together and said, "We need more vitamins that are geared towards SWAT teams." So they contacted a vitamin company and they called it SWAT fuel, and it fizzled out. But they made about 300 hats. And so that's what I have. I have one of the hats.
That's SWAT fuel. Oh, that's very good. That's terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for I guess you can't get it because it never made it to market.
I've been considering whether I should make up Gabnet caps.
I'll buy one.
I'll buy one. Make sure they're embroidered, though.
Yeah.
Make sure they're embroidered. You'll get what you take, what I give out. You know, I have a really ugly one here somewhere. I can't remember, but somebody.
It's on your head.
No. Somebody put Gabnet on a hat, and it just said Gabnet, and I went, wow. you know, I don't know. Did any of you send me that? Oh, okay.
Not me.
All right. I just wanted to make sure.
I don't know how to send things. Only receive.
Come on, you send me stuff all the
All the
time.
I
time.
know.
You know, so
My my latest present to you was disguised.
was what?
Disguised
Is what?
as a nose hair trimmer.
Oh yeah, well I have that. Yeah, I know.
And I know we talked about it, but you didn't say, "Hey, Alan, did you send this to me?" Because last time you said that I sent something to you, you always know who it is because I put to Alex Bennett. So I just changed it to your real name.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I got it.
Yeah.
You know,
And you were
those
saying,
things. I'll tell you, those things don't work.
okay. Well,
Hold on a second. I gotta sneeze.
I've got mustache scissors that I use,
Yeah, me too.
yeah. Hmm.
and there's Kevin.
I've been sneezing a lot lately because of because of pollen, and Marjorie
Yeah, me
counts
too.
my number of sneezes now. And that was
What are you up to today?
today. I actually got up to like 9.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah, that was heavy for me. So
yes, Cal. I was going in Kentucky a while ago, and I actually sent a letter to Rand Paul, my junior senator from Kentucky,
yeah,
and asked him to oppose the big beautiful bill when it comes over to the Senate. And I think he might because he has more of a libertarian leaning.
well
So he doesn't
yeah.
want the deficit increase and all that crap, which is what that budget
Yeah.
bill was going to do.
You know what I saw today on the news? Big deal. Elon Musk has said he is against the big beautiful bill,
Wow.
and
That
that
cuts into all his Doge
and,
work.
and he's kind of against the way Trump is running the country now.
Oh, he's against Washington
And I
altogether.
suddenly
He's gonna go
realized, no,
concentrate.
his main motivation was he wants to get back to selling some of his automobiles
Yep.
because
And
do you
fixing his
know?
rockets that are blowing up.
Forget about the rockets that are blowing.
Oh, I love that. And millions of dollars blowing
Hey,
up.
listen,
like
I don't love it. I want to see us get as far along in our space programs as we possibly
Oh, we
can.
got to refund NASA.
Yes.
Well, NASA wasted a lot of money. NASA was not as economical as SpaceX was because SpaceX had to use the money they got. And I've never thought that in recent years NASA was worth a hoot. And I thought SpaceX was doing some marvelous things. Don't you agree, Charlie?
I would prefer NASA doing it because I'm sorry, I don't see how it could be more efficient than NASA because there's profit built into SpaceX.
That's right. And you
Yes.
said in recent years, NASA hasn't done anything in recent years. So,
NASA.
Well, they gave
Yeah.
a contract to Boeing for that spacecraft that failed going up to the
oh, that's
to the
right.
International Space Station.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. Sorry.
That was a little NASA deal.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they gave SpaceX a lot of money, and they got their money's worth. You know, I mean, who's been taking people up to the space station?
Yeah.
You know, and who's been bringing them back?
God, wouldn't it be nice
Yep.
if Trump wanted to go up there and visit it, and then we could leave him there?
You always have to
Sorry,
bring.
we can't get another missile up there for another 10 years. You know, enjoy your sunflower seeds.
Hey, listen, will you quit putting down Trump? He's our president. Have some respect
It would take
for
it would
our
take two
president.
Falcon 9s to lift him off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's
the-
only 215 pounds.
yeah. The heavy Falcon didn't work, so we can't get him up there. Yeah. No, I want to see it. I don't have any. I don't have any. Schadenfreude for his rockets not working well. I want them to work well, don't you, Charlie? I mean, you want to see all that work.
Well, I want to see the space program continue, so yeah.
Yeah. And I think private business probably has a better chance of doing it than NASA. NASA sat around for how long? Just using the shuttle. There was no more going to the moon anymore. There was no more space exploration. It was just, it was NASA hauling and shipping. It's basically what it became.
Yeah. But that was
There's
a
a-
decision made by the president and Congress and stuff. That wasn't because they couldn't do it.
But we got into
It was the
this.
inter-
We got into this horrible thing where people were saying, "Well, we have more problems here on Earth. We don't need to spend money on that." And quite frankly, we need to spend money on that. That's an
Yeah.
important thing for us to go after. It's our future. Okay, not my future, not your future, not anybody's future here, but it is definitely the future of the human race.
People
And
don't realize how much technology has come out of NASA that we use every freaking day.
Yep.
yeah,
Duct tape, Velcro.
Yep.
Yeah,
Keep naming things.
your stupid iPhone. The technology for the iPhone came out of NASA because they have to make smaller and smaller computers in order to be able to fit them on the spaceships.
yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, the point is that NASA in recent years hasn't done much of anything except for the goddamn space shuttle, which that was getting
I
a
beg
little.
to differ. We spent satellites to all the outer planets. We've got 2 spaceships have left the solar system and on their way out into deep space. They've done a lot of stuff. And plus they've sent orbiters for
Yeah, but he
Saturn,
said-
for Jupiter, for Mars,
I think he
and for
said
Venus.
But they never went back to the moon, for example. You know,
Not
after
man.
all that work to get to the moon, we stopped doing it. And we stopped doing it because we had all these people going, "Oh, why are we going to the moon? Why aren't we spending that money on this thing or that thing?" Well,
And you know when that started? When the Republicans came along with Ronald Reagan and said
Exactly.
the government is bad.
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying that we stopped. You know, we went to the moon. We went there how many times, Charlie? 5 times?
We landed on the moon 6 times. I
6
believe.
times. And we never went back. Why? It was how many years between then and now? And now
72 was the
and-
last moon landing.
And now we're thinking finally of going back, but we should have been going back years ago.
We should have a colony there.
Yeah,
We should have all kinds of scientific research being done in zero atmospheric pressure.
yeah. Tom Cruise could be making a movie there now.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. Mission Impossible Moon.
Yeah. But no,
Charlie,
I saw that latest installment. It was very well done, I think.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
have to go see that.
I can't take Tom Cruise. I find him, I don't know.
too good of an actor. Yeah,
Oh yeah, he's too good of an actor. Yeah. You know, I mean,
I feel about him the same way I feel about Clint Eastwood. He is also a right winger, awful person, but he makes hell of a good movies.
yeah.
yes, he does.
great.
Yes, he does.
Although Tom Cruise is not a right winger, he's a what's his religion?
Scientologist.
Scientology.
Which
Yeah.
is a mess in
And
itself.
he's from my hometown. He went to St. X High School here in Louisville.
Really?
Wow. I didn't know that. Oh.
God, there's somebody from Louisville that made it in life other than you.
Hell, Jennifer Lawrence too. Jennifer Lawrence
All
grew up
right.
here.
Now
Wow.
you're talking.
Not yet. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Hot
All
stuff.
I
She's a
got is
hottie, babe.
Christy Namaguchi, the figure skater, came from here.
She's
And they
a
started
hottie.
Tesla here.
I hung out with her.
Did you really?
What?
Yeah, at the Olympics in Lillehammer. We went out to a skating competition together. She and a couple of other people. We all piled into a car and went over
that
there.
have been?
What?
What year would that have been?
Lillehammer was what, 92 maybe?
And you were ice skating?
Yes, I was ice skating. Yes.
Oh, I can't
He
believe
had
it.
ice in his cup, is what he said, Jeff.
What I remember about that evening, though, that was the night that it was the skating pairs. I didn't see any pairs skating, but But anyway, the skating pairs.
Maybe a couple of apples.
And,
Yeah.
This couple went out there, and he flips her around a little bit, and he loses control of her, and she slides across the ice on her chin.
Ah.
And there's like a streak of blood going across the you know,
Wow.
and he picks her up and skates her off of the, you know, off the ice.
Yeah.
And it was really quite sad, really, and it was beautiful at the same time. I mean, the way he treated her,
Yeah.
and I mean,
Well,
if I were her skating partner, I simply would have said, "Well, now you really screwed this up for us."
you know, Bree, if you're gonna get girls in Asia, have them, you know, sexy, not with a big ass. Oh, I'm sorry.
He's showing us the place he's eating.
Right.
His lunch place.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
show the pretty Asian.
Well, he
girls.
always shows us eating. Him eating. He never shows us sitting simply at his office working. You know.
Right. It doesn't work.
That's because
It's
it's
lunchtime
lunchtime
there.
when he
What do you
calls
want?
in. Yeah.
Boy, there's no people there.
Yeah.
Wow, is that a popular place, Bree?
Yeah, I would say it is.
No, okay, because there aren't a lot of people
It's a
there.
Subway.
Huh?
It's Subway.
It's
a Subway?
Subway?
Yeah.
You mean you went all the way to Asia to get a Subway sub?
Kuala Lumpur Subway.
You know, the reason I like this because I can order it through the app and I just come and pick it up.
Yeah,
You can do it here too. Sorry.
yeah.
That way I don't have to wait.
Or if you're smarter, you don't do it because Subway sucks.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Ah,
It does.
great here.
When you don't have time, it helps in a pinch.
Yeah, I just never found it ever satisfied me. You know?
Well, you didn't
That's
get
good.
the right mix.
Yeah.
You want to know?
I get the
you want to know how
footlong.
much I paid?
How much did you pay?
Take a guess.
I don't know how much does that. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let's find out what he ordered
Very
first.
close, Al. I got a 6-inch Italian BMT.
A 6-inch Italian BMT. How is that a foot long?
He didn't say it's a foot
No,
long.
he didn't say foot long. My
$2.95.
guess was
I'd say there you're paying $2.95. Yeah, that would be my thinking.
No,
Alan was
$1.99.
no, $3.63.
Oh,
Yeah, Alan was
Alan
almost,
was closer.
which is about
Yeah.
$2, maybe $3.
But he was
That's half
over,
the price.
right? If
It's
you
about half the price.
on the price
here,
is
yeah.
right, you can't go over, right? You
Yeah.
have to be close but not over.
yeah. And now he's
Sorry.
taking us for a walk.
Go to the
Ceiling
bathroom.
fans, they have them everywhere.
Or as they spell it in his part of the world, WOK. Taking us for a walk. You get it? Anyway,
He's
Wow.
outside and they have ceiling fans.
A walk.
I'm down to the bottom of my coffee here. I've been drinking this for 3 days.
The same cup?
Mm-hmm.
The same cup?
Mm-hmm.
It just reheats it.
Yeah, no, I don't reheat it. No, I take it out of the refrigerator cold. I love iced coffee.
Drinks it cold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very tasty. Very tasty. Hey,
I
Kevin,
got a
how
new
are
T-shirt, but I didn't wear it.
Kevin? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Anything new?
A little bit.
A little bit like what?
Stuff. I got to wait a little bit till I say anything about it. But yeah,
It
got
must
a
be.
house
Oh,
in
it,
Oregon?
it sounds to
things
me
are
like
changing. Things are changing.
things are changing now. It sounds like if you say you got to wait a while to talk about it, you might be pissed about it.
No.
Oh
No, he's got to
I-
wait for the house to close.
That's right. I would say it's a house
No.
or his wife is pregnant again. That got to be
You're funny.
funny. Sorry.
Funny guy. Funny
Yeah,
guy.
today I was talking to Albert Reynoso, my former producer, and we were doing just a little thing on Zoom to talk with each other. We do this every now and then. And he said, "So where's Marjorie?" And I said, "Oh, she's out getting an abortion." Figured that would be an appropriate answer, you know.
Because you can still do it in New York, right?
You can
Yeah,
still
New
do it
York,
in New York
yeah.
because she's getting it just because she can get it in New York. She doesn't need it, but you know.
He would be the oldest person probably to ever get an abortion.
I wonder if that's true.
What is
Yeah,
she, about
Google it.
70, 72, something like that?
I don't know. You know, I mean, I wonder how old the oldest person was who ever got pregnant.
No, I ask, isn't Marjorie about 70 or 72?
No, she's 80, 82, 81 actually.
I was actually
Yep.
being nice. I knew that. So, okay, anyhow. So
Yeah. I don't even know how old she is.
it's okay. She doesn't pay
He's
attention.
forever young.
Yeah. So anyway, so you went and saw the Tom Cruise movie and you liked it?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
No spoilers,
74
please.
in India.
I'm planning to go see it this
What
week.
did you-
74. Devin
India.
Googled it.
What's 74 in India? The heat?
Oldest woman to give birth.
Oh, 74?
And if you ask me how to pronounce her name, forget it because there's a lot of consonants in there.
Yeah.
Mm.
And no vowels.
Era Mati Mangaya Yama
Really?
from India.
Hmm.
She got pregnant IVF. 74 years old.
Well,
lady.
IBF. Okay.
Vitro.
In vitro. We have fertilization.
Vitro.
And she was 74? Oh, boy.
Wow.
Yeah, the thing that Trump wanted to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
He sent one of his guys to Palm Springs, California, week and a half ago or something like that, and blew up a car. Enough explosive to damage 2 city blocks. So
What was this? Say this again.
in Palm Springs, some guy from 29 Palms military base close by was I was going to say an expert in munitions, but he wasn't such an expert unless he planned to die in the car when it blew up. But anyhow, he died in the car when it blew up in front of an IVF clinic in Palm Springs, California.
Oh, yeah. I heard
Like a
about
week
that.
or a week and a half ago. I mean, I got friends that are in the Palm Springs PD, and I mean, it really, really did a lot of damage. It put a hole in the ground, where the asphalt was, 2.5 feet.
This is some group of people who are against people having kids.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
And then we got RFK Jr. that says healthy kids and pregnant women are no longer going to get COVID shots.
They didn't say they're no longer getting COVID shots. It's
not
not
gonna be
recommended
recommended.
by the federal government, and that they have to do it and pay for it on their own.
I read it. Insurance companies will pick up the tab.
Yeah,
I mean,
but he didn't say you
twin.
can't have it. You can have it if you want it.
Most healthy children that get COVID survive it fine. The real risk is in the woman that's pregnant.
Yeah.
And they're back to the Republicans.
Well, I'd hate to think that people weren't giving their kids COVID vaccinations, because even though kids probably can survive it better than, say, I can at my age, the fact of the matter is they still can die from it, and they can get it, and they can die from it, and why do you want to take that chance?
And they can transmit it to grandma and grandpa.
Yeah,
That's
they were
correct.
more likely
Who
to
are
die.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's a doctor named Paul Offit, and he's a world-renowned vaccinologist, kind of like Fauci was, except for he deals with pediatrics, and he's somewhere in the South. He might even be in Kentucky, and he says this is a really bad move. He said, I just can't believe that they're going to do this, that they're going to recommend that.
Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong.
The other thing that came out today that RFK Jr. did is they're pulling Skittles off of the market because they're using titanium dioxide in it. And it's in a lot of foods. Okay, it may not be good for you. Skittles probably aren't good for you.
Yeah.
I never liked Skittles.
Yeah, well, we got somebody on the show that eats them all day long. So
that's me. Yeah.
Well, don't they put plastic in Subway sandwich bread or something? I may have just eaten
Not
plastic.
just Subway bread.
Yeah.
Microplastics in everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when we think about, food colorings and so on, I think that's what they're talking about with Skittles. There are some food colorings that are not good for you. All
Yeah,
right.
the FDA approves it, but that doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
You can't get like colored certain colors of cereal in the UK because they're using artificial colors. So
Oh,
they're
really?
forcing it. Yeah, so it's probably good to take the artificial stuff out.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's just that what does RFK Jr. know about medicine? He thinks
Hi,
he
Pepper.
does, but
Nothing.
where's his degree? Where's his doctor's
Yeah, well,
qualifications?
that's probably the biggest
And
problem.
didn't we usually put people who were doctors at the head of the FDA?
Yeah,
Usually.
You know,
usually.
I mean, when you think about it, we really have a government right now run by a bunch of amateurs.
Yep.
Yes.
People who know nothing about what they're supposed to be in charge of.
No.
I mean,
Just
what?
like the last term.
Yep.
Yep.
Just like his last term.
Yeah, yeah.
Why does he do that? How does he justify that?
As he's an idiot.
I don't know how he justifies it. I mean, when you go out and you say, "I think I'm going to make TV people my what do you call it?
Secretaries.
My
He
secretaries."
wants a good-looking cabinet.
Yeah, but
Well, RFK
Well, why did he hire?
Jr.
Why did he hire Jean Shapiro or what's her name?
Oh, Janine, yeah.
Janine Shapiro.
Janine Pirro.
Judge Janine.
Pirro.
Yeah.
Judge Janine Pirro. She's not good looking at all on TV.
Yeah, but she does have the qualifications. However,
Yeah, that's why.
she
To
does
be
have
on
the
TV.
What? No, I mean, but she was a district attorney here in California, in New York, upstate. So she was not she at least was the closest anybody came to having experience.
Yep.
I'll tell you who I blame. I really don't blame the fact that Pete Hegseth is the Secretary of Defense. I blame the people in Congress who voted for him, who didn't say,
Bennett.
"Hey, this is completely unacceptable."
I wanted to give him my phone number so I could listen in real time too.
Yeah, but I
Or
mean,
were they gonna drop the bomb?
I mean, I just felt that it's just we have a bunch of amateurs running the country, and that's terrible. But here's the thing that happened today. Of course, is
The pardoning.
the pardoning. Yes.
Unsolicited.
Everybody's
pardon.
getting pardoned.
Who is this guy who they pardoned the man and woman they pardoned today? I can't
They
remember.
kidnapped somebody or something.
Grifters.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember what his name is now. His name is
But they were over persecuted,
they're over persecuted. No, but what wasn't he like? Didn't he? God, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember his name right now.
Is he pardoning Pete Rose posthumously?
Posthumously? No, I don't think so.
He
I think he
didn't
is.
commit any crime.
He didn't commit
Nothing
any
to pardon
crime.
him for.
In the court of public opinion, his reputation was damaged. Therefore, Trump must pardon him.
Yeah.
Well, he should start pardoning himself and his family members. In that
Hold on a
case.
second. I got to find out that guy's name.
The pardon that I heard
Hutchinson?
about, the pardon that I heard about today was a guy who withheld Social Security taxes from his employees and bought a yacht with it.
Yep, I heard about that too.
Mhm.
Another good
Michael
Republican.
Grimm, Todd and Julie Chrisley.
Yes.
He's on a pardoning spree.
Presley. Now, who is he?
Chrisley, yeah.
Who is he? I
They're a
never.
real- you mean the
TV show. They had a
reality
TV show.
Yeah, but
television.
what was their TV show about? Was he?
Chrisley knows best.
Yeah.
But wasn't he at one time? Wasn't he like a psychic or something? Maybe I'm wrong.
That's what you want to believe. If you'll send in money as a result of that, then yes.
But what were they put in jail for? What did they do?
Probably fraud.
Oh, what didn't they do?
Well, that's a good question too.
Yeah.
Sounds like
but the guy that he pardoned for stealing the Social Security from his employees, he pardoned him because his mother attended $1 million
That's right.
dinner.
That was Cressley.
At Mar-a-Lago.
That was Cressley, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who it was, but
She spent $1 million to go to a thing at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. Yeah. You can buy pardons now, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, most presidents wait till their last day of their last term to give pardons. He's doing it all through the whole thing. He's giving it to people who are outright criminals and dangerous people.
Yeah, but he needs the money now.
Yeah. Well, he's monetized the presidency. There's no question about it.
Oh, absolutely.
No. You just better not get on YouTube, though, because they'll probably demonetize him. Okay.
When he pardoned all the people from J6, from January 6th, he also pardoned the people that attacked cops, and he was supposed to be pro-cop. And so a lot of the police unions around here are anti-Trump now.
I don't think he likes cops. I don't think he likes. He doesn't like the military. He doesn't like the military.
No.
No. He thinks anybody who joins the military are suckers and losers.
Yep. So, but yet nobody reminds him that he says all these things, and brings it up and says, "Hey, you don't like the military? The thing I can't stand." And there's only one Jew here tonight, I think. Yeah.
Three
Jews. Is the idea that he's constantly bringing up this whole thing about Harvard's anti-Semitic. They allow anti-Semitic things going on at Harvard. To begin with, the president of Harvard happens to be Jewish. All right, just for starters.
He also admitted in an interview that there is anti-Semitism going on, but he's trying to get it under control.
Well,
what more could you ask?
In a time when you have, to begin with, I consider the person that's created the greatest amount of anti-Semitism in the world is the president of Israel. Okay, Netanyahu.
Probably.
Netanyahu has caused more hatred towards Jews than any other single human being.
Other than Hitler.
No, Hitler didn't cause hatred towards Jews. He hated Jews. But I'm talking about, this whole hatred towards Jews is predicated on what's been going on in Gaza, which has been literally a Holocaust. I don't care what you want to call it. It's a Holocaust. And it's terrible, but it's not Jews, it's Israelis, it's Zionists.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think the Jewish community has to make sure that people know the difference. Okay?
There's the people that believe that Israel should have their own country. They're the non-Zionists. And the people that believe Israel should have their own country, they're the Zionists. It's that simple.
Well, I always believe we should have just partitioned off part of Germany and given it to them.
Yep.
That would have been the perfect thing to do. Yes, Bree.
Well, I wanted to note that when it comes to presidential pardons, do you know which president has granted the most pardons in history?
I would imagine it's somebody in recent times, isn't it?
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton?
It's Biden.
Biden?
Oh,
Biden?
Yeah, it's Biden. So I think Trump wants to beat him. So
but part of the reason Biden issued all those pardons is because there were people that were doing their jobs that they felt that the Trumpists were going to go after him when Trump won the election.
Yeah. Yeah.
So. Now they're backtracking the feds, and they're looking at Biden's son again, and somebody's laptop again. The FBI. I mean, that's past tense.
And they're going after Cuomo.
Right.
Because
I mean,
he may become
why
mayor
don't
of
you
New
deal with
York.
something that's current? We have a lot of problems in this country that need to be addressed. I mean, going back in time like that is silly.
Well, I mean, he's just, it's ridiculous. We all know it's ridiculous. Why do we sit here complaining about it? You're speaking to the choir here.
I know. It's amazing that the people get on TV and just stop bullshitting. It just will not.
Well, I get tired of watching MSNBC and seeing them every time I tune it in. The lower third says somewhere it says Trump.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're always talking about Trump, and if they really wanted to do away, help do away with Trump, they'd stop talking about him. Why talk about him? Why talk about him, especially to the people who are watching MSNBC, who are people who are already converted? You're you're preaching to the choir. So, So you ready to tell us anything, Kevin? when are you going to tell us? The very end of the show?
No. Nothing to tell.
Oh, nothing to tell. Oh, okay. No. Like you're trying to buy a house in Oregon, right? That's what the current thing.
We're looking at.
You're looking. Did the one you were looking at and look good? Did it didn't come through?
No, I remember I told you Saturday.
Well, no, that one didn't come through. The main
that's
one
what I'm talking about.
The main one you were looking for, but you're looking at other stuff, right?
Yeah.
How much of that stuff you look for in Oregon is out in the country somewhere, or is it in cities?
Most of it out in the country.
Mm-hmm. Because if I got a house, I would love to get a house out in the country.
Yeah.
Place where I can go to bed every night and hear crickets instead of sirens.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I was up at 4 a.m. this morning because of that. And my upstairs neighbors are just, there's a bunch of students that live up there and they never sleep. So I was in today at 5 a.m.
Well, the other good thing about Oregon is if you own property, you could shoot openly on your property.
Yep.
Well, that has nothing to, I don't think that's why he's wants to own a piece of property up there, or is it?
Nah, I'd do that, but
you have an intruder up there, you just bury him on the property.
Mm-hmm. It's good for the soil.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Of course, when you're out there in the country, you do need to have a gun because there are sometimes dangerous critters up there, right?
Bears.
Bears, yeah.
Yeah, one place we went to had bears.
Yeah.
And they weren't that far out of town either.
No.
We have a bear who keeps going around the house here.
Yeah, I was watching a documentary.
In Connecticut?
Yeah.
Really?
There's a very good documentary they're running on HBO right now about Pee Wee Herman, about Paul Rubens.
Yeah, I read about that.
And he had a house up in the hills, and he loved it up there because of the critters. There were coyotes. There are coyotes in the hills above Hollywood. And there were a bunch of other things, too. And he just loved having them around. It was very nice to have them there.
Yeah, coyotes are okay.
If you don't let your pets out.
Well, yeah, but, they rarely attack human beings.
No, but they'll go after your pet. They will go after your pet.
Okay, well.
And I'll tell you, I had a friend. His cat was killed. And what do you think killed him? What kind of critter do you think killed him?
Eagle.
You're getting close.
Hawk.
Still close.
The vulture?
No,
they don't kill them.
One of the most predatory birds, an owl.
An owl? Oh, yeah.
He literally picked the cat up and flew away with him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's why you live on a property in Oregon. When you see an owl do that, you get your shotgun out and kill the owl.
Drop the cat.
Well, if the owls do.
Well, I mean, if the cat was in the air, you probably wouldn't want to do it. But
well, you might not hit.
I live 5 miles from downtown Louisville, and we've got owls in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh,
I hear them almost every night.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who?
We don't have any living creatures in Harlem.
Rats.
Yeah, we have rats.
Except
We have
rats,
rats.
I think just call those Republicans.
Pizza eating rats.
Yeah.
We do have birds that there were a couple that were very well known too. There was one bird that was up in one of the buildings, the very top of a building, and it was a hawk, I think, and they gave him a name and everything, and everybody loved this bird for some reason, and then he eventually showed up dead. So, but we have critters here, but it's not predominant. So you have critters where you are, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
What do you got up there? What kind of critters?
Oh, a whole bunch of them. I don't know their names.
You don't know their names? Bob, there's Bob, and then there's
Bob,
Harry. There's
Jeff,
Harry.
Harry is really good. Most of them,
Bernstein Bear.
we have guys play golf very close. It's part of the same property, whoever built all this.
So the guys are playing golf for critters to you?
To me, yeah.
You ever been hit with a golf ball?
My house has.
I'll bet it has. If you live that close.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
By the way,
it makes a neat sound, doesn't it?
Kevin looks tired. Were you up early today?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. But it's nice of you to call us anyway. Of course, it's not that late out there in California. It's only, what? A quarter of...
8:45, yeah.
Quarter, yeah.
Just getting dark.
9:15, yeah.
Yep, sure is.
I'll work on a list. I'll get you a list.
Give me a list of
animals.
Yeah. Yeah, listen to them. Yeah. I never hear any animals here. I never...
I see them.
Do I hear any animals? No. No birds or anything like that. I can't think of you're right about rats, but outside of, this isn't a place in Harlem, you're just not going to find critters, So.
I've got chipmunks and squirrels.
We do have chipmunks and squirrels. Yes, we do have squirrels.
I've seen a whole lot of chipmunks around the Bay Area, but squirrels, they're all over the place.
But chipmunks are tinier than squirrels.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. But do you go to movies there in Malaysia, Bree?
I haven't recently, but I am thinking of going and seeing Mission Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But the latest one. But no, it's been a while since I've gone. I have a big screen TV at home. I've got Netflix and I've got a movie box, so I kind of watch stuff at home.
Do you illegally download some movies?
I don't illegally download movies, but I do stream some movies sometimes. The legality of which I am unclear about.
You're unclear about. Okay, you haven't checked out their legality.
That's what they make VPNs for, so you can change the country you're in.
Yeah, I
recently discovered that one of the things, the world is not really ready for global nomads or people like me. I can give you so many examples, but one is I got my Netflix originally in Dubai. But then I came to Malaysia and my credit card in Dubai no longer was working as I had to close that. So then I started paying Netflix through my US card. So I was actually paying 71 dirhams through a US credit card that was charged in the Netherlands. And it ended up being I'd say about $8 to $10 more than if I just go here. So I had to cancel Dubai, sign up in Malaysia, and then redo a local card. So my Xbox still thinks I live in Singapore, but it charges. My Google in Dubai charges to my Singapore, and I have calendars that sometimes.
Wait a minute, you're really. There's too much information for me.
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is just beware when you travel internationally. your accounts and your codes and your cards, they don't all follow. They think you're in different countries because these algorithms, they try to pinpoint you. Even your phone.
Mhm.
Your phone that you use right now thinks you're in the States, right?
Yeah, right.
Mine gets confused. It doesn't know if I'm in Thailand or if I'm in the Philippines or if I'm in Dubai.
Why
So
doesn't it? Why doesn't
they try
it?
to embed things?
Well, why doesn't it know that?
Well, because certain apps, they will tailor to your country so that when your phone
Okay.
and these different apps look for information, they think you're from there. And so my phone is always confused. When I bring up Google, I never know which
I mean,
country I'm
I
going to
would
be
think that if I had an account in the United States for, say, Netflix, I could sign on to Netflix in another country using my name and my password and all of that, and I'd be able to watch it in another country.
in. Yeah, you
Not
can.
true? Or I can't?
That's true. You can.
You can do that with a VPN.
Yeah.
Well,
No, you don't even need a VPN.
You don't need a VPN.
No.
Not
But
anymore.
if you
Not
just
for
go
that.
on a vacation for 2 weeks or something, can you use your regular cell
When you
phone?
go down to Florida, you can use your
Yes.
Netflix account down there.
That's
Yeah.
actually it's part of the United States.
You know, they might
Really?
question if it isn't another person, and you just say, no, it's me. I'm just somewhere else, you know.
Yeah.
Alex,
Yeah.
didn't you say a few weeks ago that you'd consider moving out of the country? You'd go to Portugal.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
well,
a great
because
country.
CNN did a thing over. I guess it's after the weekend. A couple days ago, and they said that more Americans are going to Portugal. It's a friendly society. English is spoken almost everywhere. They're going to Lisbon, and they're going.
Also, if you happen to be my age,
Medical is good.
they take care of you medically and everything. You get access to all their
Yeah, they did a thorough research. That was really good.
And Spain, I think, is close to that.
Spain is close to it too, as long as it's Barcelona.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, I mean,
Costa Rica is also another one.
Well, also England. People are going to, and people are still going to Canada.
Well, England, if you go to England, and let's say you get really sick or something, and you go to their hospital, they will not turn you away. They will take care of you because you're in their country. And then when it comes time to leave and you say, well, where do I pay? They say, I'm sorry, we don't have a cash register here. You know, we just don't have any way to pay here. You know.
I went to Australia. Same thing.
Really? And you got all your medical taken care of in Australia?
Yeah, I was only there shortly and I only needed one medication and I really had to get it injected.
Yeah.
Aspirin injected?
Yeah. Something good.
Yeah, it's called heroin. It's called heroin.
Heroin. Oh, okay.
No, I can't remember what it
That was the day that he started stealing cars. Yeah, we get
it.
Who's that guy that used to call in all the time, Alex, who moved to Philippines?
What's his name?
Producer.
Yeah.
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 Music producer.
Oh, my music producer.
No.
All the
No,
liners.
No, this is Albert.
No, not
No,
Albert.
it's not
Albert
Albert.
lives in Florida. We're talking about.
Florida.
We're talking about.
Albert, no,
Mark something? Was it Mark something?
No. He does all the bumpers and the liners that we used to.
Rob something.
Rob Alfano. Rob Alfano.
That was close.
Yeah, Rob Alfano.
Yeah.
Well, he's in a different country, right?
He's in Philippines.
Yeah.
In the Philippines.
Well, he had married a Philippine woman.
Yeah.
So when he decided to retire, he decided to move there.
Because she wanted to be with her parents, and I think
Great idea.
you know. Yeah. So I mean, so they moved to the Philippines. I don't know if I'd want to live in the Philippines, though.
Why not?
Manila is really.
I don't know. It just doesn't sound like a good idea.
It's a good idea, Alex.
Really? Have you been there? Yeah.
Many times. I've called you from there too.
Yeah. Well, what did you like about the Philippines?
It is the true America. They are more American than we are. They actually went through the Duterte. They went through the Trump years already. They're on the other side. And but no, they are more American than us. They still have, they have Dunkin' Donuts, they have Mr. Donut, they have Kentucky Fried Chicken, they don't change the names. It's all the stuff from the 70s that we have. But
you go to China, there's a Kentucky Fried Chicken on every corner.
Yeah,
there's very few places in the world you can go that you aren't going to find these franchises.
Hard to eat chicken with the chopsticks, though, right?
No, in China, they have Kentucky Fried Chicken, but it's duck. They serve duck. They also serve chicken too, but they serve duck as well.
Peking duck.
No, not Beijing duck. No, Beijing duck is a very Beijing duck is a very special kind of duck. It's a specially prepared duck, and I had it when I was there last time.
Do they import the 11 herbs and spices?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, it's more popular there, I think, than it is here. There are something like 2,500, 3,000 locations in China. That's a lot,
Yeah.
So, I mean,
if you go, have you been to the Philippines, Alex?
Have I been to the Philippines? No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, you should go. And I don't recommend Manila per se. I'd say you can spend 3 or 4 days there to get your jet lag, get over any jet lag if you have it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd say that you want to head to Boracay or Palawan. Those would be
all
nice
names
places,
that I'm going to remember.
El Nido.
Yeah. What is it?
Cebu.
Why is it you have chosen to not live in the United States much? Not that I don't blame you, but I'm asking.
It wasn't. Yeah. This is just where life took me, and I've been fortunate. These are where I have applied in the U.S. I once lost a job to a South Korean woman for a posting back near Pittsburgh. I suppose nowadays.
So that's when you went to South Korea to take her job.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you'd probably get the job.
Yeah.
She'd be on a transport back home.
Yeah, but I just never figured out why you decided specifically to leave the United States and become pretty much an international citizen.
Yeah, it started back in 2000 when I met someone at a conference, and she gave me her card and said, "We're looking for people." This was in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
And at that same conference, there was a woman I knew who had started up something in Abu Dhabi in UAE. So it was in my mind around that time, like, hey, there are these opportunities and these possibilities. And so when, I was out of graduate school, I had my first job here, and the workload was pretty high, and it was kind of, I don't know, I was getting kind of in a rut, if you will. And then I brought out her card. I said, maybe I should just see what they got. And before I knew it, they were flying me out there, and I'm like, hey, I'll take a trip, free flights to.
And that's how it started.
Yeah.
This woman wasn't an employee of the NSA, was she?
No.
No,
there's
she now lives in Ireland.
There's our theme playing up a storm. It's been a nice evening here. I'll be here tomorrow night, by the way, just in case you were wondering if I wasn't going to be. So I hope many of you will join me tomorrow night here. Amy is next with the intersection, and she'll be taking your calls on actually she's using Zoom now. So just go to our Gabnet page.
You got
what?
You got her on Zoom, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And go to the Gabnet page, and right down there at the bottom of column 3 is her name, and just click on that, and that'll take you right to her program. Meanwhile, I'll see you all again tomorrow night. Thank you very much, Vernon Nunn, for being here this evening. And, of course, Charlie, nice to see you there. Hope we didn't bother your love life or anything like that, but thanks for being here with us. Alan, thank you so much. Thanks to Jeff. Thanks to Kevin. And thanks to Bree in Malaysia. All of you, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you, okay? There they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel for tonight. As I said, Amy Manuel is next. I'll be back again tomorrow night, same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay?
This is a test.
Oh, no, 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 no. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I pushed the wrong button here. Anyway, see you tomorrow night, everybody. Bye.